Yo guys, yeah, what's everyone saying, man? Wait, let me check still. Yeah, okay, cool, yeah. Anyway, welcome to my first video on my channel, Mtmadeit. And yeah, this is gonna be my guide, a little mixing guide for the people then on mixing the beats. So let's get right into it. This is gonna be the beat that we mix, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what type of beat this is, but like, does the job. Uh, but yeah, you guys get the idea in it. So yeah, I'm just gonna run through how I would go about mixing it, from what I've learned. And yeah, hopefully you guys find this useful. So guys, when it comes to volume setting and mixing your beats, the first thing you really want to do is you want to get the mixer channel open and you want to get the channel rack open. As well, what I'd advise anyways, if you're taking it seriously, what you want to do first is do all your volume setting on the actual channel rack before you head over to the mixer rack. General advice when it comes to just actual volume setting is, well, industry standard is you don't go above 0 dB. So what you should want to do first is you want to go on your master, make sure that you turn off the limiter, and then obviously you run through your beat, and as you run through your beat, you want to set the levels here. Yeah, as I said, the general advice is don't go above 0 dB, as you just start getting distortion and you don't really want that. But music is subjective and you can do whatever you want. Like you can just have it going above 0 dB and slap on a limiter, but I would recommend you don't do that. So once you've got your channel rack and mixer rack open, the way you really want to work through when mixing is you want to use these volume knobs here, yeah? And you want to run through your beat soloing each instrument. So for me, like in my example, I'll start off with my main melody. But obviously you guys can do whatever you want. Like you can start off with the kick or the 808 or anything, whatever you fancy. But for me, I'd start off with my melody. I'll run it through. And then using the volume knobs here, I'd set it to whatever I want. But as you can see here, if you look on my master, you can see I'll go at minus 33 dB. And that is the one main advice I'd want to give is when you're mixing, you ideally want to start with all your instruments quite low because you want to avoid the distortion that occurs when you go above 0 dB. And also in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter how low the music is because you can always master it at the end and make it louder. So it's better to get a good mix at a low dB than have it skirted around 3 dB or where it's clipping, because that's just unnecessary stress. Yeah, so guys, once you've done, as I said, in terms of setting all the volume levels in the channel rack, and you've worked through all of them, setting them to however you want it, because remember, the music is subjective. It's how you want it. If you want your 808s to stand out, you make your 808s a bit louder. If you want your melody to stand out, then you make that a bit louder. And then anyways, once you've done it and got it to how you want it sounding, you should play it all. And on the actual master channel rack, you should see it here at a decent level, not clipping above 0. The next step after, once you've done that, is now you can actually go to the mix rack. And here is what I recommend, is where you do your actual final setting of levels. So this is more something just for tweaking, not actually for the major changes, but this is where you can just tweak it a little bit more to your liking. Then you can start messing around with stereo effects, start adding in, EQs, compressions, stuff like that. But that's yeah, something I'll touch on in a later video if you guys like this. So yeah, that's it. As you can see, it's pretty simple, all subjective. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of round this off with a conclusion. The major things you want to remember when mixing is, firstly, it's like literally a sin to have your music clipping. So you always want to make sure when you set your volumes in the channel rack that you make sure you have everything low. It can be -12, it can be -16, -30, whatever you want, but just make sure that it's not clipping, because at the end of the day, you can always master it and make it louder. Just an extra note when it comes to the mixing, if you're like mixing it at -30 decibels or whatever, and you're struggling to hear it, or you feel like, oh, this isn't hitting, the first step is to make sure that your actual volume on your laptop is maxed out. So even if you get -33, you can always come here and make it louder, and it will still hit the same way. It will hit louder, and it will actually be a good mix. So that's the second thing to do as well when you're mixing at quite low decibels. Finally, the last point I just want to highlight to you guys is that music is very subjective. And when it comes to actual volume settings, as long as you make sure it's not clipping, you're all good and you can do whatever you want. So my advice to you guys is that whatever you want to stand out, or like whatever the vibe is you're going for, if you're going for a really heavy track, you know, with loud 808s, then you make sure that your 808s and kick are a bit louder, a bit higher decibels than the rest of your track. But if, you know, you're going for something soothing, you know, you have everything a bit more subtle, a bit more leveled out. Some people like to have their kicks hitting at set levels, so a lot of people like to maybe have their kick hitting at 6 dBs or maybe -9. But really, as I said before, guys, it doesn't matter. Just make sure it doesn't clip, and then you do whatever the fuck you want. And yeah, that's the end of my first video. I hope you guys found that informative. You liked it. Give me a like, subscribe. You know, I'm gonna upload more, and I've got some beats coming out. So yeah, man. Hope you guys have a blessed day.